What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Double Take Diaries. You already know who it is. Sinz. It's so amazing to be back here with you guys. Thank you guys for watching episode 1. Obviously, I'm new to the YouTube space, but you'd have to be remiss to not know what's going on or be living under a rock to not know what's going on in rap music today. So in episode 1, we started touching on the kind of Kendrick and Drake beef a little bit and some of the things that are transpiring as a result of the rap beef. Yes, y'all, it's really real out here. Is Drake a Karen? A lot of people are saying a lot of crazy things online about Drizzy Drake because of a lot of the things he's been doing in the media as of late, whether it's from me mugging DeRozan or whether it's from calling out fragile ops on streams, or whether it's outright just saying he's not a real Sixer, he's not really from the city, don't play his music. Things are heating up out here. A lot of people have a lot of different perspectives. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions. Shout out to Joe Budden, because Joe Budden dropped an episode on his Patreon where he gave his take amongst some of his friends and professional colleagues in regards to the matter and why certain things are happening. I wanted to circle back because I'm still gonna sit with y'all and we still gonna listen to GNX. We still gonna do a reaction video, but like I said, I want to take my time and I'm gonna do mine a little bit differently, but it's gonna be a vibe. But we understand right now, today, that there are 2 lawsuits that Drake's company, Frozen Moments or Frozen Thoughts or Frozen something, filed against UMG. There's so much to be said, man. A lot of people are like, man, this guy's destroying the culture of rap and everything that rap stands for and being authentic stands for. They're calling him weak. They're calling him a crybaby. But there's a lot more at play than just a rap beef. Let's dig into this. Now, there are 2 lawsuits filed. I'm sure you guys have heard all the talk about them, all the information pertaining to those 2 lawsuits, the complaints while he's filing them, and lawsuits, petition, complaints, whatever they want to call it. All right, he's getting ready to gear up and take his label to court. For those who may or may not know, it looks like Drake has been trying to get out of his deal for some time now and go independent. We recognize that if Drake were to get out of his deal and go independent, that shakes up the whole entire industry. It changes a lot of things for UMG. Whether people want to admit this or not, Drake has made billions of dollars for these labels. Billions of dollars, the amount of money he's generated. And a lot of people are making the argument that, you know, how is he going to claim that the reason why this song, Not Like Us, garnered all this attention, all this buzz, and essentially being nominated for a Grammy and all these things is because the label he signed to, who Kendrick is also signed to or has a distribution deal through for PG Lang, has inflated said numbers, has put money behind and inflated said numbers, and so they're claiming that this is payola. That's what Drake is claiming, and that, yeah, they're inflating the numbers in order to create mass hysteria to the masses. So it's actually really crazy when you look behind the scenes and you look at what's going on. The fact that Drake isn't actually suing Kendrick Lamar, but he's suing the label for whatever part they have in funding, you know what I mean, the marketing and promotion of this diss track. There's also the claims that Kendrick Lamar made with Drake being a PDF file. To me, that's the worst thing you could be called on earth. Like, having that kind of smut on your name, to me, is the worst thing. So, and I'm so glad that Drake's finally speaking up about that, and like, I just don't know why it took so long. You think that's something me personally, it's like if someone claims something like that, something as serious as that, you gotta stand 10 toes down and come out and refute that shit. You cannot let that slide. So a lot of people have a lot of different mixed feelings and emotions about what's going on, how you're gonna file lawsuits. But a lot of the business minds and people who just have a little more insight into the business aspect of it and these two lawsuits and why they were filed, are giving new insight and perspective into the situation. Now, call it like I see it. Episode 1, I told you this is a moment for culture. I still stand on that. I stand on everything I said about what this means for LA, this moment that Kendrick Lamar's created, right? Numbers inflated, bots, and all these things aside, we recognize what this moment has done for hip-hop, what it means to see the underdog finally win, finally come up. Again, the rap beef is subjective. Both these artists are massive artists. They both have very big followings, and their followings to a degree are loyal to them. So there are people who feel Kendrick won, and there are people who feel Drake won. There are people who have all types of different feelings, and that's dope. So when it comes to the music shit, it's subjective, cool. But if I'm on a label as an artist, right, and me and this label have a deal, and within this deal, there are certain things that I can do, certain things I can't do, certain things the label can do, certain things the label can't do. And essentially, I'm an asset, and they have invested into this asset in some capacity, right? But if I'm on a label and I'm an asset like Drake, and you have a deal with someone who's considered my op in rap music, right? And you fund, through payola, their diss track with claims, with PDF file claims on it. When you put money behind that, inflate the numbers, then take it to radio and pay off a bunch of people in radio to play it and create all this craze around it. And you have people screaming this across the world.
Certified lover boy, certified pedestal. God, fuck 'em up. I'ma do myself. Why you pulling like a bitch, ain't you? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably
a person on the face of this earth that wasn't screaming it. Even if there was Drake fans. Drake fans might not tell you that. But that song, we've seen the impact. We've seen people in Toronto walking through the streets screaming it out loud to go viral. Just to go viral.
Mustard on that beat, nope.
Hey, mustard on the beat, hope, deep boat. Any rap nigga here, free throw, man down.
You feel me? We understand the impact culturally that Not Like Us created for rap music, for hip hop, right? So I said it's good for the culture in terms of the competitive aspect of it. Where it gets crazy is making certain claims, and it's like, that's for both parties, right? Drake claiming that Kendrick Lamar is a woman beater, and you know, people are speculating that there it was a lawsuit that was taken out somewhere. I don't know if it was in LA or Las Vegas against Kendrick Lamar, where people were claiming that he did get into an altercation with a female. To me, that's allegedly. I can't confirm nor deny. I haven't seen any information behind that. But they both made claims. But the PDF file claim that's insane. But understand that that's like how America be funding military grade weapons. They be shipping, they be selling weapons to both sides. That's what UMG is doing. Because throughout this lawsuit, when Drake is making these claims in both these lawsuits, UMG is like, we don't have no dirty dealings. We ain't doing no payola. We ain't paying for bots to inflate the numbers. We ain't doing that. you ain't suing us. You need to go talk to Kendrick Lamar. So now UMG is saying for Drake to sue Kendrick Lamar. Drake's like, I ain't doing that. And he can't do that. The optics of that would be crazy. The optics are already crazy. And most people don't even understand why these lawsuits are coming out. Yeah, I'm sure part of it is, I don't want to hear people scream I'm a PDF file all around the world. Maybe it is some of that. Is someone supposed to want that? Rap beef or not? Is someone supposed to want this record where these claims are being made about them? They don't want motherfuckers screaming that everywhere, every day. It's the mustard thing is already... Mustard! It's already up. It's up and it's stuck. So when we're talking about, okay, we're getting a little bit more insight into, okay, why Drake is moving the way he's moving in regards to these lawsuits. And ultimately, these claims of him being a PDF file also impact his business. Now, don't get me wrong. If there's any truth or any validity to that, then I just feel like for Diddy and all these other big dick deviants in the words of Cat Williams.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024.
I don't think nobody should be walking around with that type of spirit or a monkey on their back or whatever that. If you on that PDF file shit, I'm sorry, to me, it's something that's stuck for you. So it's like, but if you ain't got nothing like that in your closet, like none of that, you ain't never been on anything like that, you don't, then it's those accusations they become wild, and it does become like you're defaming his name, because it'll impact his business. Now Drake is a multi-billion-dollar business. We can't act like that just goes away because of a rap battle. Got to be objective. You feel me? Like you got to look at the facts. And the fact of the matter is that if Drake wins after taking UMG to court, if Drake actually wins, not only does he get the masters to his music back, he's suing them for billions. Not one, not two, $3 billion. And his masters, and he's out his deal. Understand what that actually means for an artist of his magnitude. Now, when Joe Budden and they were speaking on it, a lot of them were saying, man, there was some glazing going on for Drake. I'm not going to lie, right? But there was just a lot of like common sense talk where it's like, what he's doing, Prince and Michael Jackson did against their labels. The only difference is he's still here with us, man. Because it could get deep, it could get serious for Drake going up against this label. If he takes them to court and proves that UMG's been out here fudging numbers and bots and all these things, think about what that means for all these other creatives who understand that this label is in cahoots with Spotify, and the pay for play and the schemes that they're running behind the scenes. Lawsuits will be coming down from all these artists. Lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits. It's crazy. If you want to be a rapper nowadays, it's like this. You gotta walk this fine line. It's like a beautiful thing. If you're truly passionate about what it is you do, I still think there's a space for independent artists to create a fan base, to create their own world online, and to be able to go out into the world and tour off of that, what if they've created online, and be able to be successful and be able to really do special things. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I also recognize that there's a lot of artists that are signed, they're going and they're getting these one single deals. You know what I mean? These artists that are just popping off a TikTok video, or there's a lot of them. The labels are just running them through, yo. It's like a factory. It's like Ford back in the day, just pumping them out, bro. There's one, then a new model. There's one, then a new model. You know what I mean? And UMG's method for streaming, recognizing how much money labels started losing when artists like Soulja Boy were creating their own worlds online and going viral and having these big moments online independently at times without labels, and what that means, like putting a lot of the ownership in artists' hands. But artists are still getting signed by labels, right? So Spotify's hand in this is crazy, right? UMG cutting exclusive deals to Not Like Us with Spotify. UMG, you know what I mean, removing all copyright restrictions off a record. Like you could see certain things are questionable that were mentioned in the lawsuits. Claims of UMG firing execs at the label that were riding for Drake. And apparently these same employees that were fired are the ones giving Drake game on everything UMG did to light fire under Not Like Us and make it go up. Now, I'm going to be honest. Not Like Us, to me, that's a #1 record to me. Like, take Drake out of it. Take the petitioner out of it. And just listening to Not Like Us slaps. Not Like Us is a slap. If you say anything otherwise, a lot of people don't remember, but when Drizzy dropped back to back, I remember that. You might not remember all the lyrics of the song, because I don't. I'm not going to, I told you, I'm always going to keep it real. I'm going to stand on 10 toes. I'm always going to keep it real. But back to back was a moment. Now, granted, Drake or Kendrick ain't Meek Mill. Kendrick ain't that. No disrespect to Meek Mill. I'm just saying Kendrick's not Meek Mill. So the moment and the artists involved, different magnitude and to that degree. But back to back, it charted. Back to back went crazy. Which the irony in that is, like, can you imagine Meek Mill suing Drake over back to back? How that would have looked? You feel me? So I mean, but we understand that if I'm signed to a label, though, if this is my label and we have dealings going on, and you over there funding my ops war to execute me, because the other side of it is UMG owns 20% of Spotify or something like that, right? So these motherfuckers are in bed together, and they're just eating off all these artists. All these artists are at the freaking, they're being controlled by these label owners, and UMG owns pretty much every label out there. You know what I mean? So essentially, an artist, like the lifestyle, it looks great. It's like the glitz, the glamour. Oh my God, the fame. But essentially, these artists just work for somebody. They just work for somebody. They just get a little privilege. That's the difference. They get a little privilege. You feel me? Certain little privileges. But ultimately, UMG and Spotify, it begs the question: are you two conspiring, against, Drake, in hopes to, number one, another point is Drake is a huge asset at UMG, big asset, like big asset. Again, he's making the billions. You feel me? Billions. You feel me? So it's like, for any reason, if this goes to court and Drake wins, not only does that say UMG is paying radio for plays, he's paying to play, and there's that payola scheme. Not only are they botting motherfuckers, there's bots driving their numbers up. They're aware of these things happening. They're aware of these things happening. That means all these other artists who are paying duckies in marketing and putting their music on these platforms, they being set up for failure. even additionally to that, Spotify got this thing where any songs, for certain levels of artists, if your songs have plays from bots, they're taking your shit down. But the label, they don't care, because either way they're getting paid. The more songs uploaded on Spotify, the better for Spotify and UMG. They get paid, yo. They'll eat off your back catalog. They're getting paid. 60,000 songs are uploaded to Spotify a day, bro. 60,000 songs, and they don't care. That's UMG's game, bro, to oversaturate the market. No matter what, they get paid. And additionally to that, we can't act like they ain't trying to destroy hip hop right now. Well, I won't lie. I might say they damn near killed hip hop. Hip hop is hanging on by a thread. But let's not say they ain't trying to destroy the genre, watering it down. Like look at what they're allowing to surface up. Look what's on radio. A lot of the rap records that are on radio, they trying to kill the genre. It's getting spooky out here. UMG cutting deals with Spotify. UMG owns 20% of Spotify, and you don't think that they have a vested interest together? They're not playing. So people are claiming that by Drake taking his label to court, which artists do all the time, but to this magnitude, it's just different. But by him taking his label to court, that puts UMG in a sticky situation. It's getting sticky. Like, it puts UMG in a sticky situation. A situation they ain't trying to be in. Because it could really get bad for UMG and Spotify. Right? But those who know, the two of them the schemes, right? But it takes an artist of Drake's magnitude to be able to actually go toe-to-toe with the label. Now, a lot of people are saying he don't have it in him. A lot of people are saying, yo, they'll really touch the boy for this. They'll really step. You know what I mean? There's a lot of speculation out there. But if you know one thing about the boy, his moves have always been calculated. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to say it here again. I don't agree with a lot of the shit he been doing in the media. I don't agree going on X Extreme, calling Steve Lacy a fragile op. Steve motherfucking Lacy, out of all people in the world, okay? That make you look like a hoe. Steve Lacy. Anyways, I digress. The crazy thing is another point a lot of people try to make about Drake trying to bring these lawsuits down on UMG is the fact that he's benefited from this same system. I hear that a lot. And of course he has. Any artists out there, from the Taylor Swifts to the Sabrina Carpenters to the Beyoncés, they all benefit from bot play, from bot boosts. They all benefit from it. But I think there's so much to be discussed here, and we don't want to. This is by me having this conversation with y'all about these lawsuits does in no way change how I feel about how Kendrick Lamar ran through Drake in this rap beef like a runaway freight train. There's no debating who won the rap battle, whether numbers were fudged or not. There's no debating who came harder lyrically. We're not debating that. Because like I said in episode 1, I wish Drake went to the studio to put them reps in. You feel me? And there's so much about how this played out, though, that really makes you think, well, was the label really preying on Drake's demise? Because, I mean, lowering his value means when they go back and try to do a deal with him, whatever deal he would, Drizzy was hoping to get because of his net worth at that time, both monetarily and attention-wise, his worth, it would change now allowing Kendrick to kick in his back the way that you're doing it now, making it in the court of public opinion, Drake's career is over. People are saying it's over for him. There's no way he could come back from this. How? Right? That is what the majority of people are saying. They're saying he corny, he a cornball. A lot of people are saying because of the things he's been doing in the media, it's changed public perception of him to the point where people just, the millions and millions of fans that he has in the 15 years he's given music, all that goes out the window because now when we listen to him, we just see this cornball. And I think for some people that will be true. I think for some people that'll be true. But to say his career is over as a result of the rap beef portion, no, I think you're gravely mistaken. I really do. And again, I'm going to say it again. I don't agree with a lot of things Drake is doing. Just as a man of his age and his maturity, I think it's just poor taste for a lot of the things he's doing as a man. Do you understand? But this guy's always been so calculated in a way that it's put him in a position to be the artist of the decade. And not only that, to not have the same type of money problems with his label that Weezy has had. Wayne is a legend, but we know what happened between him and Cash Money. We know what happened between him and Cash Money. We've never heard of Drake having the same kind of experiences, right? So it's important to understand that losing the rap beef is one thing. And ultimately, does Drake care about the court of public opinion? Does he care what you motherfuckers think? I want to know. I don't care what nobody think, right? But does he care, a multi-billionaire or a multi-millionaire, whatever he is, right? Who's impacted and changed the genre of rap music forever. You can never take away his contributions. Does he care about the court of public opinion when it comes down to a rap beef? Because Nas killed Jay. Nas killed Jay. But look at Jay today. Look at Jay today. The things Jay was able to pivot and go on to do a lot of things to diversify his portfolio as a businessman. You know what I mean? To opening the door for a whole new generation of artists, to getting into sports, Rock Nation sports, and all the things that he's doing, right? So it's like, do we care? Do you really care about the court of public opinion? And again, for some motherfuckers, they do. They care what the niggas in the barbershop think. They do. They don't want to have to them, the thought of the niggas in the barbershop thinking that they some kind of pussy or they some kind of weak motherfucker or anything like that. Because pride is a motherfucker, right? And no dude wants the perception of himself to be of a bitch. That's just what it is. But, which is another reason why I'm like, y'all think Drake really care what you think? I'm genuinely asking. Because like I said, by his response to certain things, he seems bothered highly when it comes to certain things. But drop a comment down below and tell me what you think. Another thing with the D. Rosen thing, I thought that was whack. Mean mugging and whispering empty threats. I thought that was whack. You feel me? But then things are also about perspective. You know what I mean? When DeRozan got traded to the Toronto Raptors, the man was bummed out. He was sad. He was heartbroken. He was down bad. And Drake was that nigga in his life that was like, don't worry, we got you out here. We got you in Toronto. We love you here. We're going to take care of you here. We're going to make things better for you here. And then someone turns around and disses me on a record. Though you guys are both from the city. You're both from LA. But he turns around and disses me with claims of being a PDF file and you in the music video like this. Anybody would be mad is what I mean. Do I agree with the antics at the basketball game and then having barrettes in your hair. No, I don't agree with that. These are the things that make Drake look crazy. But he's still human. That's what that behavior, that's what those little things he's doing. Calling Steve Lacy a fragile up, telling the streamer, yo, shut off the weekend. Only real sixers. That's called feelings. He's showing feelings and emotions. You understand? Because he's human. And I don't ever want anybody to get away from that. Now, don't get me wrong. Drake will be the first person to shit on someone and not think twice about it. Drake is the first person to come to an artist, use them for their likeness, for their hype, and never fuck with them again, bro. There's a reason why people are calling him a culture vulture. The man sees an opportunity. He's an opportunist. He really is. He's a capitalist. He's also a capitalist. And that's why these lawsuits are happening. Additionally, nobody, not one of you motherfuckers out here would want to have to go around the world and hear probably A minor everywhere you go, nigga. Nigga in Turks trying to relax, A minor. Man in Jamaica, A minor. Man goes to Switzerland, A minor. Ain't nobody trying to deal with all that shit. None of you motherfuckers want to deal with that shit. So if you had the power to, and you had the means, you would do everything in your power to say, to get motherfuckers to not have to, or be able to play that motherfucking song again. Kendrick took rap beef to a new level, but so did Drake in his time. And I think the difference for me is in rap beefs, throughout the history of music, nobody ever made claims about a rapper being a PDF file. That to me is crazy. And it to me, it bothered me. I'm like, yo, remember, not like us, Euphoria, all of them came out top of this year. The first quarter of this year, I feel like. First quarter, end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter of this year. We're almost in December right now. And now he just filed the defamation lawsuit for the PDF file claims. I was like, bro, if anything, why aren't you addressing these claims? Why aren't you addressing that? That to me didn't make no sense. What else do we got going on here? Yeah, so the labels do what labels do. They've historically, what UMG is trying to do or doing, labels are built off of that. Does it make it right? No, it doesn't make it right. Artists like, God bless their spirit, Michael Jackson and Prince really put themselves on the front line to expose these sorts of things going on behind the scenes. But they were genuinely doing it to make things better for artists. I don't think Drake is doing this out of the goodness of his heart to make things better for artists. I think it's really just it's a power play. He's in a position to do it. Things are changed. But a lot of people are saying Drake could still get touched. He's no different than Pac, Biggie, Michael, or Prince. They're saying he could still get touched. I guess only time will tell. But Spotify, boy, you really ain't paying artists nothing. So your hand in this is crooked as shit. It's crooked as shit. But if it bark, I'm going to call it like I see it. I'm going to say it's a dog. But when we talk about the rap beef, when we talk about tailor-made freestyle versus Family Matters versus push-ups versus Not Like Us, Like That with Future. When we think about all these records coming out, rap is competitive. So this moment specifically for the culture, I think is pivotal and it's important because we're at an intersection where we could really change the trajectory of what they selling as rap music. We at a point in time where if the consumer wakes up in all this and realizes what these major labels are doing to them by influencing the way they consume everything, really. Not just everything. If y'all motherfuckers think you ain't being controlled by the machine, the same machine Drake is going up against, the same machine that killed Michael and Prince, the same machine that just seeks to kill and destroy. If y'all think them motherfuckers that are spending millions in advertisement, in marketing and promotions, if you think they're doing that for you to have a choice on what you like, you actually like, and want to hear and see, you sleepy. You still sleeping. You need to wake up. But this is a very important moment, I feel, for the consumer, because they have an opportunity to take their power back. You feel me? Because right now, the consumer in all this is just being bound. You know what I mean? You're not even actively choosing to listen to that song that you like. You're not discovering music in an organic way anymore. You know what I mean? There's a lot of illusion and delusion going on out here. I'm not gonna lie. Kendrick, you my dog. I can't wait to bring you guys the GNX album reaction, man. It's gonna be lit, because before anything else, I love rap music. And I love the real. I love the ones that do it for the real on the real. And I always stand on that. But yeah, just having this open discussion about, everything that's going on right now. Because, I mean, a lot of UMG really playing with people. I think Kendrick being in the position that he's in, with the lawsuits coming down, is interesting, because UMG's like, yo, UMG said to Drake, you ain't suing me. It ain't me you have problems with. It's Kendrick. It's Mr. Duckworth. And I think the label, like, that just shows you again how crooked these labels are, bro. That's crazy. You funding the two people who are enemies, bro. But you funding the war, bro. That's crazy. Like, it's crazy. The pay for play tactics is crazy. And the fact that you actually, it's like the audacity, right? If this is true, so allegedly, you fire everybody that works for your label that's affiliated with Drake in any way. That's any person that supports Drake. You get rid of them out of the building. And don't think that they're going to talk if the opportunity presents itself. Is crazy. Then again, these people are very powerful. What lengths would they go to protect their secrets? You feel me? We already know historically how dog eat dog, how dark it could get, or it gets in this industry. So it's like, should we pray for Drake? Let me know. Drop a comment below. Let me know if we should pray for Drake. And with the lawsuits coming out, do you think this puts Kendrick in more of a position of power? Because I think culturally, the culture is speaking, and the culture wants real shit. They want real music. They want real rappers. They want authentic rappers. They want authenticity back. Like, bring the real niggas back. You know what I mean? What did Kendrick say? There's a few real niggas left, but not enough. And honestly, that shit is so true. Cause in this rap shit, there's so many clowns. Oh, the foolery is crazy in rap music nowadays. The things motherfuckers are doing for clout is crazy, man. So this is a moment for the culture. This is a moment to decide to go in a new direction for the rap music. And I mean, this potentially will determine whether or not the genre survives another 50 years. You feel me? So shout out to Kendrick. Shout out to this moment that he's having. I can't wait to see him do the Super Bowl halftime show. Being the first solo rapper to do that is crazy. And he a black man. I think if not for anything else, that we recognize that at the end of the day, these are two brothers. And at the end of the day, I'm glad it's not violent. I'm glad at the end of the day, they keep it to the level of music. Obviously, minus these lawsuits, but that's a whole different thing. When you're playing with someone's likeness, and you're playing with someone's bag and so much money, it just kind of changes things. And any of you can say anything. You really could, and you will. But it don't matter because the facts are the facts. And if someone was playing with your name, and someone's playing with your character and with your account, I'm not taking that lightly. I'm not. Rap beef or no rap beef. You're not going to be playing with the future of my child. You're not going to be playing with my name. We're not doing that. Yo, the label's so crooked. UMG so crooked that for the first time in history, they removed the copyright restrictions on Not Like Us for YouTube and Twitch. That's crazy. Premeditated. So not only was they going to people and paying people off, yo, here, run these bots. And then going to influencers saying, yeah, play this. Act like it's the illest shit, right? If it's true, allegedly. Allegedly. But for the first time in history, the label removed the copyright restrictions off a song. Why would they do that? They get paid off this music. I was about to crash out. For the first time in UMG's history, they removed the copyright restrictions on Not Like Us on YouTube and Twitch. Why? Why would they do that? That's like playing with their own bag. If this song, like, it does beg the question, if this song is going crazy organically and it's doing all these things, right? Essentially, that song is making money. Why would you mess up? Why would you play with your own bag? Why would you incentivize people to share it on YouTube and Twitch? Because you understood the magnitude of what was happening, what this could be utilized to do. Not only could it devalue Drake so that when he came back to the table to negotiate with you, you could lower his price. But it puts you in a position to make even more money funding this war between two of rap's greatest legends. Do they have to like each other? No. They from two different worlds. You feel me? They from two different worlds. But again, I come back and I say, this moment, aside from the lawsuits and everything, actually including the lawsuits, this moment really is for the culture. Because historically, black artists have been robbed. They've been robbed historically. They've been taken advantage of historically. And every time a black artist tries to take back their power in any capacity, they disappear. They get cooked, fam. So I'm going to ask the question again. Should we pray for Drake? Is that crazy? I'm not glazing. I'm not glazing. I'm just trying to be objective. This doesn't change how the rap beef went, how the rap battle went. It doesn't change that. Kendrick Lamar is culture. But so is Drake. Even if the culture's screaming he isn't in this moment, in this very small moment, in comparison to his career and what he's done for rap, he's culture. No matter what. So in looking at the risk that he's taking as one of the biggest artists in the world, not just rapper, as one of the biggest artists, some consider the big three really to be Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and Drake. People would argue that Bad Bunny's in that bitch, and I probably argue that, because Bad Bunny, different type different. So it really begs the question, like, where do we go from here? Do we continue to have the same conversation about who's real, who's not, who's ops or who's, without really taking a look and seeing the bigger picture, what this means for the genre of hip hop going forward, what it means for two of our legends, what it means, what does this mean for rap music? What does this mean for artists? What does this mean for the consumer? There's a lot of moving parts at play right now. But man, just keep checking in with me, man. Let's keep diving into this, man, because I think there's so much to get to, man. There's so much to get to, and I look forward to getting to it all with y'all. And you know me, I'm gonna do a double take. I'm gonna do it because I got to. And with that being said, thank you so much for sitting here with me on the couch for episode 2 of Double Take Diaries. You already know who it is. It's Sinz, and we out. Gang, gang.